Hi everybody, Gay Lewis here, Sunday morning. I'm sitting in my husband's truck outside church, about to go in. We're having potluck Sunday, so early this morning I had to prepare a couple of things, and then we brought them over and someone came out and got them and took them in, so I'm waiting. I'll go in a minute. It takes us about 35 minutes to get here in this Silverado. Excuse me. And I think I've told you before, I'm not too fond of this truck. We bounce and bounce and bounce some more. So I hold on to my chili con queso, one of the dishes that I brought, just in case it doesn't spill all over the car or the truck or me. So it's not my favorite ride, but it does come in handy. I just wish it didn't bounce so much. I wonder if they all do or if it's just this truck. I don't know. The last video I shared with you was about forgiveness, and I said how hard it is to forgive, and it is. But then I got to thinking, I did not mention Erica Kirk and her amazing statement that she forgave the guy who killed her husband. Wow, that is amazing. What other words can we use for that? Well, inspirational, and it's also Christian. We're supposed to do that. Do you have someone in your life that you haven't forgiven? I do. And I don't want to forgive those people. There's a couple of them. I don't want to forgive them. I've forgiven many in my lifetime, and I'm working on forgiving the others. Got to do that. Jesus said it's good to do that, right? He did it, so why shouldn't we, right? And there still are consequences, though, even if you forgive someone. Like Erica forgave the guy that killed Charlie. So she's free from having to have that bitterness, that hatred, and that anger. That's good for her. But consequences still remain for the guy that killed him. This morning, our Sunday school lesson that I'm teaching is on God's judgment to the Israelite people because they wouldn't go into the promised land. Joshua and Caleb, my two favorite people, two of my favorite people, came back from spying in the Holy Land, and they said, it's good. The other 10 spies said, no, it's not. So all of those people that were waiting to hear the spy report said, oh, boo-hoo, we can't do this. So they didn't. Well, God eventually forgave them for their lack of faith, their lack of obedience. But he said, you're going to face the consequences. And the consequences are you will be roaming around in the wilderness for 40 years. One day for each day the spies were in there. They were in there 40 days in the promised land. And came back, 2 with a good report and 10 with not. So he said, God said, okay, you'll roam around 40 years. And anybody that's older than 20 can't go in. So all of you will die in the wilderness except for people that are younger than 20. Wow, that was a lot of funerals back in that day. 40 years. And all those funerals, somebody figured up that might be around 68 a day. Goodness gracious. A lot of funerals to preach. A lot of people to bury out there in the desert. Well, God forgave them, but he said you face the consequences. And so even if we forgive people who've wronged us, that doesn't mean that God won't hold them responsible for what they did to us. So me, Gay Lewis, you can forgive them and let God hold them to consequences. The problem is I want to hold them to consequences. Got to get over that. It's God's determination whether or not they're as guilty as I think they are and what the consequences will be. Okay. Time to go ahead and teach this lesson. I love you guys. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye.